Ready? 1 second.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is William Bear. I'm also known as the Blockchain Broker. I'm super excited for our premiere episode of our Talks with Bear podcast as part of the Duvibe group. So let's get started. Awesome. So welcome. I'm so glad that you guys are here. What I would love to talk about is a little bit about what this podcast is going to be on and how we're going to make this the #1 podcast in all of the blockchain space. So a little bit about me and my background is I've been in blockchain since 2016 and I have seen a lot and I can't wait to share all the stories with you guys. I'm not really a trader. I'm more excited about the community, more excited about the technology behind it. So you're not really going to find a lot of financial advice here or any financial advice, and you're not going to find a lot of forecasting or technical information on technical analysis on the actual charts, but you will find a lot of information about the technology, about the community, and some of the coolest things that I'm excited about. So to begin with, what I would love to do is talk to you guys a little bit about what blockchain is, how it can help you, how it can help your business, how it can help your community grow, and how it can provide a true understanding. So to begin with the ideas and methodology, we have to go back to the cypherpunks. When I grew up in New York, the cypherpunks were this rebel group. They were a group of people who were fed up with the current financial system. You got to understand that 2008 was a huge economic recession, and it wasn't an economic recession that was needed. It was one that could have been avoided, right? So because of the fact that the big banks, they mishandled all of these types of mortgages, they mishandled all of the credit rating agencies became a little corrupted. All of these different things stemmed from the lack of trust within our financial system. So what the cypherpunks set out to do was to build a trustless system. Now a trustless system means that even if you do business with a bad actor who is trying to harm you, they will not be able to, and you guys can only empower each other, right? And so that means that you don't have to trust the other people. And that's our ultimate goal. And I don't think that blockchain has reached this goal so far, because to be quite honest, there are a lot of bad actors in the space. There are a lot of people in this area who are able to take advantage of each other. So be careful of the scams, be careful of all these things. But ultimately, we want to have programmable money to the point where even if that money is taken, it can't be used against you or be wasted, and it will return to you. And that's our ultimate vision for blockchain. So the cypherpunks came up with something called open source money. Back then, it wasn't even called Bitcoin, right? So they wanted to have this open source programmable money, and that was the vision of it. And when I read about this, it just got me so excited, right? And this was like 2008, 2007, when they started really talking about this stuff. And once Bitcoin came out, and I do believe that Satoshi, if she exists, was one of the cypherpunks. But like once Bitcoin came out and once all of these new killer apps on the blockchain came out, I was immediately attracted to it as a way of being financially independent, right? And as a way of, when I say financially independent, a lot of people think that that means that they have enough money not to work a job. But for me, money is a form of control, right? When you have a certain currency, you're making a political statement, right? You make a political statement when you have the euro, the US dollar, the real, all of these different currencies are supporting the government that you're holding it from. What if you just want to hold currency, right? As well as what if the internet needs her own currency? So one of the interesting things that I saw with blockchain was that the internet is a powerful entity, and she's going to want her own she's going to want her own native currency. And that turns out, in my opinion, to be crypto. So one of the cool things that I really like about this space is the permissionless aspect. And that's what I found. When I first came in, I had this scarcity mindset where it was sort of like, if someone else is doing something or someone else is successful, it's going to take away from my success or take away from my funds or things of this nature, because I thought it was like a finite amount of resources. But what we're learning with the internet and all these digital frontiers is that there's an infinite amount of resources. It's like we can make our own spaceships, we can make our own things, and other people can get involved and we can help empower each other. So the next time that you feel like you're getting left behind, or if you feel like you're too late, realize that it's good that other people are being successful. Realize that you want to be friends with people who are doing amazing. And when all of your friends start doing it and maybe you don't get it immediately and you're not in the know right away, rejoice, celebrate your friends' successes, because now you're going to have very successful friends, and having that network is just going to make it easier and easier. So that was just a little introduction of like what got me excited about blockchain. I'd love for you guys to put in the comments, what did you guys get excited about blockchain, or what attracted you to blockchain to begin with? So I would love to talk a little bit about the revolutionary aspect of blockchain, right? In college, I took political science, and one of the things that I was most fascinated was a coup d'etat. And a lot of people want to understand what a successful coup d'etat entails, right? So if you're not totally familiar, a coup d'etat is when a government is overthrown, usually by their own military. So in an unsuccessful coup d'etat, the military kills the king, and then they run to the treasury and feed their troops, right? And what happens is during that party, there's chaos ensues, and that general gets killed by the next lieutenant, and that lieutenant gets killed by the next captain, and all of this, and there's chaos, right? But in a successful coup, the general runs to the radio. Running to the radio allows him to put out his message saying, oh, the king has been stealing from you the whole time, you're gonna have a much better life with the new regime, and all of these things. The second step that he has to do is he needs to put his own photo on the currency. So he goes to the Bureau of Engraving and he gets his photos on it. And the third thing that he does is he rounds up all the rich people and he gives them a lot of the new currency for free. And once the rich people who control the business, who control the economies of that nation, once they accept all of that free money, his reign will last very long. And the reason why I just explained this is because I believe that the internet is performing a massive coup of every single country in the world. So the first thing that the internet did was she ran to the radio. The internet controls media, right? Social media, all the news outlets are on the internet. In fact, it's far more likely that you will get your news from the internet than from any other source. So she controls the radio. Now she's making blockchain and crypto her own native currencies. This is a huge deal. And what's currently happening is a lot of the people who are engineering and tech and a lot of the business people are now preferring to get paid in these native currencies rather than fiat, right? And so once the internet is performed her coup and is complete, what the type of coins that you own, what's in your wallet, and the type of NFTs and identities that you have on crypto and the DAOs that you're a part of are going to ultimately be more important than your bank account, than your passport, and all of these things to you and your family. And when that happens, the coup will be complete. And I'm not saying this because I want there to be a coup. I don't really care. I just see that it's happening. But this is an indication that we're becoming a tier 1 species, right? So a tier 1 species is a species on a planet that invents products that are globalized, right? Prior to this, we were more segmented, right? People have factories in their own country, and those factories make things for themselves. And yes, we have trade routes, but it comes from a certain country and goes to a different country. Right? Whereas a tier 1 species invents products that will instantly be used by all the humans on the planet and that we're able to work together. A tier 1 species is something that we should be moving towards, because a tier 1 species is a species that will invent interplanetary travel, and bigger problems will be accomplished. Right? So don't be afraid of the AI revolution. Don't be afraid of the crypto revolution. These are tier 1 products that are ultimately allowing us to be a fully globalized species. And with that, we will have bigger and bigger challenges that we'll want to pursue, that will have more and more opportunities for us. So a question that I get a lot is, awesome, Will, I really like blockchain, I really like crypto, how do I get involved? So what I like to say is, don't buy crypto, don't buy blockchain, don't buy into it. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because I'm a huge crypto guy, but first off, I don't like to give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But more importantly, I don't buy a lot of crypto. I earn it. I earn a lot of crypto. Just like I don't go around buying a lot of US dollars. I don't go around buying a lot of euros. I mean, other than when I'm traveling, I might exchange it, right? But I'm not a Forex trader. I'm not someone that is doing that. And I don't think you are either. You might be, but the majority of the population isn't going around trading all of these currencies. And what the problem with crypto in our community is that we usually approach the no-coiners, which maybe you, may not, the no-coiners with the idea that you were already a Forex trader, so you're going to want to be able to trade into these different coins and all of these things. And that's not necessarily the ethos of it. I try to show people that there's a lot of opportunities to earn crypto. So let me give you some hard facts on how you can start earning crypto. And I am not sponsored by any of these opportunities. So the first thing is Getcoin. I know that you guys have heard of GitHub. I know that you guys love coding and building cool things. And me too. I love a good GitHub repo. I love to fork something, play around with it, have some fun. But Getcoin is a little similar, but also wildly different. The cool thing about Getcoin is that they allow you to work on different projects all over the world. So people will have their code repositories on Getcoin, and what you're able to do from that is that you're able to work on a certain project, and then there will be bounties that you'll be able to earn from achieving those. And there's a smart contract wrapped around that code so that if that company uses that code in production, they have to fulfill the smart contract and pay you. This is going a little bit back to the original ethos that I'm saying of how we'll be able to have trustless environments. Gitcoin is not perfect, right? There may be some bad actors who can use your code or modify your code enough that they can deploy it without paying you, but ultimately, the standard is that a lot of these people do get paid immediately because being able to use your code and deploy it is something that a lot of people want to be able to do, and they are fine with paying you the bounty, right? So it's creating a little bit more of a trustless environment, which is ultimately the goal, is that we can have an environment where we can trust everyone, let me just pause there and talk about how amazing that goal is, right? Like, the internet has connected us all. Right? Everyone can be online. The mobile phone is international. Even in very early stage developing countries, they are online, right? And so you can talk to almost anyone. The thing is, you shouldn't trust many people on the internet, right? Like, it's not a trusted environment at all. So the idea of blockchain is kind of the idea that yes, the internet has connected us all, but now let's look at it in a way where we can trust us all, right? So what if you could trust everyone online? What if you could trust everyone with your money? What if you could trust to engage and do business with anyone you want online? Think about how powerful you will be. Think about how many teams you'll be able to focus on goals and opportunities, right? You guys will be able to do this, and this is the ethos, this is the projects that I am working towards, is the idea that we can have smart contracts so that the money will protect itself in almost any situations, so that we can put it into situations that we find risky today, but tomorrow will not be risky. What if you're able to invest in an entrepreneur knowing that they can't spend it in Miami on a party, right? The money just won't work. They can only spend it on network resources, or they can only spend it on very specific things like developers or marketing, right? So the idea of a future where the money protects herself and you as the owner of the money is able to program and control that is a powerful, powerful future. So that's one of the things that I really want to occur and that I'm really trying to work towards is a trustless future. So Gitcoin is an amazing place to start. You can absolutely start working on different projects there. And what's really cool about Gitcoin is that they also have a lot of hackathons. So hackathons is my second thing that I think could be the easiest way to get into it. And a lot of people think that they have to be very technical, that they have to have a lot of coding background to work in a hackathon or to build in a hackathon. And absolutely, if you have technical abilities and if you love JavaScript and Solidity and Python and all of these amazing languages that you can speak with computers, if you want to perform in hackathons, let's go. You probably already know about hackathons in Web 2. Web 3 hackathons are even better. The prizes are nicer and they're paid out faster and all of these things that I found in my experience. But like, if you're not technical, have a technical background or a very limited technical background and you love using, I don't know, no-code tools or different things, have no fear. Hackathons are more about team building than actual technical abilities, right? Because a lot of people at the hackathons will have their own technical abilities and they will be able to perform the technical task. However, they need help in so many other ways: branding, marketing, being able to fully articulate their idea. A lot of these people don't like being on stage. They don't want to talk about the concept. So being in hackathons, you will see so many teams forming, people working together, and you can sort of just go around and find your place on a team. Find out what value you have to add, and I promise you, you have value. You are valuable, right? So find your value and give it to the community, and that's something that's really, really powerful. So I would suggest going on Gitcoin, finding some cool hackathons, and really getting in there. Gitcoin has a lot of the digital hackathons, but if you're looking for physical hackathons, which is my favorite kind of hackathon because it helps you get inspired, right? Being in a building with all of these builders, with all of these awesome people are going to make you want to do more, make you want to build more, make you want to be more, right? Is going to be awesome. So the way that you find physical hackathons is through Twitter. Twitter is such a great resource for being able to figure out what the hackathons are. And I'm going to drop a list of some of the major hackathons that are occurring this year in the crypto space. And all of these are in every major city, right? So wherever you live, you're probably less than 2 hours away from a massive hackathon that's happening this year, guaranteed, right? So, and it's every major city internationally, not just America, not just in the West. And it's definitely a lot of hackathons happening in Dubai if you're around. And you might even see me at a few. One of the major hackathons that I would definitely suggest is any of the ETH Global events. ETH Global stands for Ethereum Global. They're one of the largest conventions in the world. They do hackathons and events mostly in Europe. So for my European subscribers, definitely check out ETH Global, and also in America. So America is the home to a lot of great hackathons and a lot of different places that you're able to work and do cool things and interact with companies. So what you're able to do is sign up for a hackathon, go on Twitter, and even if you can't attend the hackathon, go on Twitter, right? Because there's trending hashtags of that hackathon. Get into the conversation, message different teams, introduce yourself, send out videos, be on the spaces. I like to tell people that all of this thing is a human captcha test. We just want to know that you're a real person, a real human, and that you want to be involved. So one of the coolest things that you can do is be human. In a world of AI, in a world of computers, humans is what makes you special and more valuable. So being on Twitter Spaces, being in the different Zoom groups, being on any video, any sort of commenting in the Telegram groups, all of these things, and having real human interactions with the builders and the funders and all of these different people is ultimately going to make you wildly successful and is going to make you very, very important in the space. At the end of the day, find your value and add it to your community. When I first got started in crypto and blockchain and tech, I had no technical skills. Now, yes, right now I'm a full stack software engineer. Thank you, Thinkful. I went to boot camp and I learned JavaScript, which was basically the only language I needed to learn. But for you technical guys, I learned the Pern stack, the Mern stack. I can do front end, back end, Postgres, Express, React, Node, MongoDB, all of that. And I'm able to build full stack web apps, mobile apps, and all of these types of things with JavaScript, right? JavaScript's my favorite coding language by far, and I just love the versatility of it. But at the beginning, I didn't know how to code at all, man. It was hieroglyphics to me, and I saw what was going on, and I was in real estate. I was a real estate agent in New York. I had a lot of clients. I was making a lot of money in New York real estate, and I had access to so many properties. So I said, wait a second, this is my value, that access to all of these properties, right? So I would take some of these properties that I had access to, I would talk to my client in the real estate world, and I would say, hey, can I borrow this property for an event? Can I borrow this property for a meetup, a group? And I would take those properties and I would donate it to the space, right? So I would go to awesome entrepreneurs and people in the space, and I would say to them, awesome guys, I love what you're doing. Let me host, let me add value by having the space. And that's the value that I had. I had no technical values. Technical knowledge, they did, and I didn't, right, at the time. And I was able to give them value and gain leverage by donating a lot of the properties to the space. And it was an amazing way to build community. It was epic. I really enjoyed it, and I'm super happy that I did that. That was the value I was able to add. We started in Soho. We started hosting events. We went to Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We did even more events there. And I'm just so excited and impressed by how that community has grown, how all the entrepreneurs that I interact with have become successful. And I think you guys can too. It's all about finding that value and then adding it to the space in a way that they accept your value. Right? So those are some of the most important things that you can do. Get into the community, get into some hackathons, find your value. A hackathon is a great way to find your value. Seriously, just walk around, start talking to people, and you will quickly realize what's missing on their team that you may have. You might be like, hey, you guys are great at building, but you're not great at storytelling. Or you guys are amazing at executing, but you're not really good at the strategy. Or you guys have built an awesome product, but you have no go-to-market, right? Like all of these different things could be it. Or maybe you do have technical skills and you find a team that doesn't have technical skills, right? So whatever you have, give it to the community. And my father always told me, do what you love, and later on, someone will come along and pay you for it. So yes, in the crypto space, you're gonna have to come in, you're gonna have to add your value, you're gonna have to be part of teams. You guys may not win the big prize. You guys might not get those bounties. You might only win some small bounties. Amazing, right? Like, I'm proud that you are finding your way, finding your value, because if you do what you love, and then once someone starts paying you for it, you're gonna be the best at it because you actually love it, and you're competing with other people who are only doing it for the money. And you're like, yo, guys, I've been doing this for months for free because I love this. Like, let's go, you know? So you're gonna do a better job, and you're gonna have more fun with it. And you're gonna have that stamina that's needed to win. So in conclusion, thank you guys for being a part of this beginning content, this beginning podcast. I know it's just me, which is a little bit, you know, straight up, but we are gonna have guests involved. We are going to have other people that we're going to interview. I have a lot of friends in this space, and we're going to have some good conversations around it. I really appreciate you guys being a part of this. Please join Do Vibes. This is one of our core groups here in Dubai. Please join Blockchain Broker. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Telegram. Blockchain Broker, like a real estate broker. Reach out. I respond. I talk to people all the time. I'm fine with holding your hand, helping you into the space, and really helping people like grow and flourish. Let me know what skills you have They don't have to be technical skills. Tell me about your skills. Oh, I have great interperson skills. I have great networking skills. I have skills for marketing. I have skills for getting people's attention. All of these skills are super, super valuable. Find your value, find your core thing that you can add, donate it to the space, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.